Oh, didn't see you there. Hi, I'm Dallas Brown, student physical therapist assistant.
And I'm Emma Marshall, also a student physical therapist assistant.
Describe what you experienced together as a group.
As a group, we experienced a bunch of barriers and I always want to say external, environmental barriers. We've noticed that the ramp outside worked very well of ambulating the wheelchair.
Yeah, that's something we had to do together, was going up and down the ramp. Also going through the front door could not be done alone in a wheelchair, so we did that as a group.
We also assisted each other sitting and standing in the library couches because we noticed they didn't have an armrest, but together we got it done.
We sure did. Also, as a group,
I think that was
we covered it all. Okay. Yeah. We also went up and down the curb with the wheelchair together.
Yes, we did. We did that quite safely and successfully.
Compare your personal experiences as individuals.
Well, I will start with me.
Okay.
I've noticed that when I was ambulating you up and down the curb, it was a little easier for me. Not saying that women aren't strong, but I had a lot of weight patient, and it was a little more smoother transaction of getting you up and down the curb.
I would say, yeah, because being a female, and let me rephrase that, not because, but as someone who is weaker and having a heavier patient, yeah, I would think getting off the curb with the wheelchair would be a little bit more difficult for me. But that's more of a contrast. Maybe let's
compare.
Yeah.
We both enjoyed going up and down the ramp and how useful it was. We both found it very difficult of maneuvering our patient in the wheelchair. Didn't matter what gender or male or heavy or lighter weight we had in the wheelchair. It was very difficult with the turn ratio.
Especially in the bookstore. As the patient and as the SPTA, it was very difficult because of how close the aisle to the shelf was. It was, for a patient and SPTA, I think that was our most difficult space we maneuvered in.
But we came together and we got it done.
And something I think we can both agree on is that this experience was very eye-opening because we were able to experience obstacles that we didn't notice as able-bodied people. And would you say so?
I will agree with everything. She took the words right out of my mouth.
Also, there is a lot more of environmental barriers than we thought there were.
Contrast your personal experiences as individuals.
Please let me go first.
Sure.
Well, I ambulated with the quad wide-base cane, and as I was walking through the hallways, I didn't notice people staring at me strange, but I did notice people in a hurry around and rushing around me on the same side that I had my assistive device. And I was a little worried that they may bump into me or I may accidentally bump into them. But far as people giving me strange looks or making me feel uncomfortable, I didn't experience that. Oh, I almost forgot. I also found that me walking in the hallway with my quad-based cane, I stepped on the tip of my quad-based cane and the rubber tip came off my cane. And I found that could be a potential issue or complication when you're ambulating with the cane in the middle of traffic. No, I'm sorry, you can go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I also noticed, I can see how that could be an issue. For me, that did not happen personally, but I can see how that could happen in a real life situation. I didn't notice people the same way you did rushing around me, but I did feel like people were paying more attention to us because we had a wheelchair and an assistive device.
Understood.
So that's something that we experienced a little different, but that's okay.
And I think I may have mentioned this before, but I definitely want to touch up on it. it was a little easier getting you up and down the curb in the wheelchair, being that I was a male and a little bit stronger and
you
a lighter
mentioned it.
patient.
You mentioned
I just
it.
don't want to keep repeating myself, but I guess
Right.
I did. Sorry.
For different, like Dallas mentioned, for different strengths of people, different weights of patients, it may be easier or more difficult when getting up and down the curb in a wheelchair. Yes,
Great.
I agree. I agree.
What was your individual contribution to the group?
You want to go first on this one?
Sure, thank you so much. From my perspective, I feel like I gave a female perspective on assisting someone in a wheelchair. Maybe it's more difficult to do certain things, certain lifts and assists. My contribution also included taking measurements of different passageways and seeing if things were ADA compliant. Also, I took pictures and acted as the PTA and the SPTA and the patient for different ambulations.
And me, I just brought a male perspective to the group, and I guess I hold value into myself in the group where I was able to get us out of those sticky situations and tight situations, in the bookstore when we were tight spaces. So, and I also, I took some pictures and assisted with measurements. So that was it.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
And one more contribution that I will say I've added to this whole presentation was we have a special guest, music talent of mine, Hembry Poindexter. Thank you, Hembry. That you will be getting to enjoy later on.
Great voice.
Great voice.
Talent.
Great voice. So,
We'll be right back. And we'll be right back.
Never forget your gate bell. Always remember the phrase. And when you ambulate, wear your shoes for gait. BLS will keep your patients safe. BLS will keep your patients safe.
no students were harmed in the making of this video.